Welcome to Nolly Recaps.
Prince and his sister Princess are in the village for her traditional wedding ceremony. Their uncle, Uncle Jackpaw, was complaining that they have stopped coming to the village, and so they don't attend village meetings nor pay their dues. Prince and Princess declared they weren't going to visit the village again, not after they had killed their parents. They had no plans of building a house there, and so they will not pay any dues. Uncle Jackpaw insists he will keep paying their dues because it will be embarrassing to his family to be tagged defaulters in the village. Upon hearing that, they decided to pay off for 10 years since the due is 100 naira per head monthly. Uncle Jackpaw thanked them, but he wasn't done. He wants to know when Prince plans to settle down, since the two are the only men left in the family. Prince insists he will get married at the right time and to the right lady. Okay. One more thing before you leave. We must go and see Indio, their kinsman. He specifically requested to see you too. Princess told Uncle Jackpaw she doesn't want to see Indio, and so she left. But before leaving, Princess clearly told her brother, who is staying back, to see Indio. No eating, no drinking, no hugs, handshakes, and to leave before dawn. Prince was adamant, insisting he has heard. Moreover, he's not afraid of witches and that his sister is too superstitious, but shouldn't worry, he will adhere to her rules. On their way home, there were 3 weird-looking women Prince greeted as they head to Indio's house. Uncle Jackpaw advised that he should be careful, but Prince believes he's a free man, says he is not a Christian, neither does he believe in Islam. He doesn't believe in anything, and since he doesn't look for trouble, no one will care about him, unlike his sister that is superstitious. Uncle Japka told Prince to still be careful with things though. Indio says Prince is the chosen one, he must not allow anyone take him away from them, and that his time is near. Then he gifts him palm wine and bush meat along with his granddaughter Haggai to spend the night with him. He thanked Indio and left. At his hotel room, Prince tried to kiss Haggai, but there was a knock on the door. Those 3 women are at the door. They brought black soap for him to buy and also help them market in Lagos. Prince insists they should bring it tomorrow before he leaves. Back inside, Haggai wants Prince to say he loves her. She wants him to confess "I love you" 7 times before laying with her. He obliges and said it 4 times, then becomes irritated and decides he is no longer interested. Prince woke up before 5 a.m. and noticed he had a wet dream. Haggai was laying beside him. He quietly packed his belongings and sneaked out of the room, but of course, she saw him leave. Happy he was able to sneak out very early as advised by his sister, Prince bragged about being smart. Then suddenly the 3 old women appeared in the middle of the road, bringing him the black soap. "You can't hide from us," they informed him. "We see and know everything." Then they gave him their number by all means before he zoomed off. Back at the office, Miss Okafa wants Prince and Ame to work on a presentation and have it ready by tomorrow. They will be working late, so Prince suggests he drops Ame at home afterwards. As soon as the presentation was ready, Prince switched into expressing his love for Ame, professing how he feels about her and how he desires to marry her. Ame told him he doesn't even know her, where she's from is salty, and everything about her is salt. They tried to kiss, but each time his phone rings to interrupt. It's Haggai. Surprised as to how she got his number, he became irritated and put off his phone, but to his surprise, his phone still rings. Ame told Prince she's from Issa, an neighboring village to his village, and it's forbidden to marry from there. Prince says he doesn't care and was willing to wait for as long as it takes to marry her. Amos thinks he's a joke and left with her girlfriend. Haggai took a photograph of Prince and tied it with a rope in a fetish way. The next morning, Prince started to see images of Haggai's face, first at the reception, then at the boardroom. Then the presentation went south as a video of lovemaking pops on the screen in place of a video demonstration. It was more surprising because Haggai was truly there. He had caused it. Ame and Prince both got fired. Back home, strange things began to happen. Prince saw Haggai through his window transform into blackbirds. Next, the frames on his wall shook and fell off. Fear gripped him, and he ran for his life. He got to his colleague's house and told him everything, but his colleague wouldn't let him spend the night. So he called his sister and told her about his strange experiences. She advised him to lodge in a hotel for the night. Even at the hotel he couldn't sleep as Haggai kept tormenting him. He decided to spend the night at the security post and offered to pay the security men 20,000 naira each per hour till the breaks, but they must make sure he stays awake. Prince got to Am's house to apologize, but to his surprise, Haggai shows up, angry with her eyes flaming like fire. She knocks Ame to the ground and demands that Prince tells her he loves her 7 times. He quickly obliged, but she shut him up because he's just responding to fear. She uses her powers to pull him to herself, but before they could leave, Ame arose from behind and attacked Haggai using marine powers. Prince stuck to his heels. Prince's driver took him to a pastor for prayers and deliverance. The pastor demanded he sow a seed of money. The pastor took him for outdoor spiritual cleanse, then came to Prince's house to drive out the witches, but this time, the pastor receives a resounding slap from Ame, the marine witch. The two sat over the table and debated on why they each want to have Prince. A call came in and Ame excused herself. Meanwhile, Haggai continued to plead with Prince to love her. It's the only way to set her free. She cries and runs off. Prince Googles for an expert in witches and meets the Professor Piem, who reveals to Prince that Ame is a marine spirit while Haggai is a witch, but he isn't sure why they both want him this bad. Professor Piem told Prince to avoid water at all cost in order for him not to be tracked by the marine spirit. He must not even drink water, and also do not take anything from Haggai. She wants to initiate you. Professor Piem prepared roasted yam and mashed tomatoes for Prince to eat because he cannot consume water or anything made of it. As he eats, he began to feel dizzy. The professor asks him what he ate. Prince remembered collecting candy sweets from a lady at the market. Stay awake, the professor urged him, noting that the witches are summoning Prince to their coven. The witches began the initiation process. At the coven, Indio, the grandfather of Haggai, boasts of how well his granddaughter has done by bringing the prince to them. But Haggai is sad as she pleads to let him go. This is not what she wanted, and this is not who she is. Haggai tried to make Prince love her so that she will be free from the spell of the coven. Her grandfather, Indio, insists she continue out with the initiation. Luckily for Prince, Professor Piem delivers him by pouring water on him. This invited the marine spirit, who appeared and challenged the witches never to come for him again because he is theirs. Prince revived him back to life. Professor Piem keeps what could be in Prince that both the marine spirit and witches want with him. He suspects that there must be something in Prince's family history that is making them come after him. A lady handed a sweet to Professor Piem, telling her to give Prince because they need to talk. Professor returned with the sweet and asked Prince to take it. That way they can find out what Haggai is up to. There it is, the truth. Prince's mother was the daughter of a Bavi, but she chose to marry an Asa man over her own kind. So their marriage was a taboo, therefore Prince and his sister are a taboo. Professor Piem and Prince journeyed to see Uncle Jackpa to ask about his history, and Uncle Jackpa confirmed his identity of being an Asa because his father is from Asa. After leaving Uncle Jackpa's house, they went to Neo's house. Seeing that the whole village had gone for their meeting, they took the opportunity to search the house, and to their surprise, they found Prince's picture tied to a figurine and kept in a pot under Haggai's bed. How to escape became a challenge because the witches were looking for them. Prince had to call the 3 old women for help. They appeared in their own coven, but when they learnt the marine spirits are also after him, they chased them away because they do not want problems. Finally, the marine spirits caught him and took him underwater to their kingdom, where they tried to make him marry Ame. Prince was able to escape from the marine world. Ame kept searching after him everywhere till she found him. In a bid to escape from Ame, Prince swallowed Haggai's candy. He then appeared in the witches' coven. Haggai is sentenced to death for failing in her assignment. Prince grasped her and said he loves her 7 times, but nothing happened. Indio laughs sarcastically because he knows it will not have any effect. He says, it'll only work when there is genuine love between them. They took him and tied him to the tree for initiation and coronation. They put a crown on his head but nothing happened. Then Ahmed came, but then everyone noticed that Prince is not the chosen one. Even Ahmed was confused. The chosen one then finally arrives. It was Prince's younger sister. She set him free to depart with him. But Prince turned to Haggai and genuinely said he loves her 7 times, and the curse over her was broken. Prince is still amazed that his younger sister is a marine queen all along and wonders if she's even a human being. She told him to reach out to her whenever he needs her help.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notification so you can watch more videos like this.